Naturally, if you are educated and intelligent and you are reasonable, nobody can pay you to demonstrate. This is where you make the application. Yes, in today's class, we want to briefly consider Nigeria student loan. So first and foremost, Nigerian student loan comes under this concept of NEL fund. So what do we mean by NEL fund? NEL fund stands for Nigerian Education Loan Fund. NEL fund are interest-free student loans to Nigerians who are pursuing tertiary education, university, polytechnic, colleges of education. Okay, this Loans Act was signed into law by President Bola Ahmed TINUBU in June 2023. Amendments were made to that in April 2024 for easy accessibility. But before we continue, I want us to watch this video. So having seen this video, we want to understand briefly people's reactions or comments, if you like, towards this video. You know, I'll scan through some of the comments. I'm definitely not going to go through the entirety of the comment. I just want to pick out some of those that are sensible, that do not fall under the theory of rented crowdism. Obiasogu David says, how will students who received NEL fund loan mobilize themselves, use the loan money to purchase branded t-shirts, rent a DJ and hit this to thank TINUBU for giving them loans? We are being fair when we call TINUBU supporters retarded cretins. Cretins means stupid, okay? Any demonstration, this is from Ansem Edith. Any demonstration you see people wearing branded t-shirts is government sponsored. So out of 100% of students, how many percent were able to secure the loan? I'm a student, but believe me, in all my school, nobody has got the so-called NEL fund loan. That is to tell you, less than 1% of 100 got the loan. This is what this fellow said. What is the main purpose of this student loan? It is to ensure that no Nigerian is denied higher education due to financial constraints by supporting students from low-income families, especially with an annual income of less than 500,000 naira. And the source of this fund, where the government says is getting the money, 1% of federal government revenue, meaning that every money that government is able to make per time, per annum, per year, 1% of that income is dedicated towards this student loan. All other avenues or all other sources, donations, grants, education bonds, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, basically, when did this student loan, when did it kickstart? Because very many people might not be in the know. They might not be aware. They may not even know that there is such a concept where they can easily access, pardon my word, where they can access, how easily it is, I really don't know, where they can access student loan when or if their parents are not able to afford their tuition, or if they are from low income family, you know. So this program got kickstarted in July 2024. And then this is where you make the application. You may want to take a note of this. https, you know, .nelf.gov.ng. Take a note of this website. This is where you access the loan application. This is where you make the application online. If you are not, I have opened the website and it was able to open for me. So I didn't apply because, of course, I'm not a student. And so I want you to apply and let us see if it can really be accessible by, you know, men of commoners, men of masses, children of the masses. So this program was initially available to students in federal institutions with plans to expand to state institutions by the end of 2025, meaning that when they kickstarted in July 2024, it was mainly for students who are in federal universities, federal polytechnics, federal colleges of education, federal institutions generally. But by the end of 2025, plans are underway to extend it to state institutions as well. So, okay, in a nutshell, summarily, NEL Fund student loan is a landmark effort to make tertiary education accessible for underprivileged Nigerians if managed genuinely. This is my word here, without sense of truism and potent intent. Okay, this is my caveat. It's a very good one. It's a good effort towards ensuring that all Nigerians, you know, regardless of your social status, regardless of your income, regardless of where you are from, you know, you can access tertiary education. This can only be so if this program is genuinely managed. In any case, if government or government officials are not embezzling the money, simply put, if they are not mismanaging the fund, then it can be considered a landmark effort. If it is so considered and treated with all sense of truism and, you know, potent intention, how is it connected to rented crowdism as a theory? We watched a video earlier where we saw beautiful ladies and handsome guys dancing to a very well-composed music, you know, celebrating NEL Fund. Apparently, they were painting the picture that they got the loans from the government, or they were just celebrating the concept as it were. To a large extent, you may want to consider the people who have participated in this celebration some rented people. People who have been hired by politically motivated individuals for specific reason. And this is the reason we want to look into theory of rented crowdism. This theory refers to the intentional use of hired and paid participants. Take note of the word hired and paid, to showcase an unreal public support or opposition during protests, rallies, political events, or social movement. Meaning that certain political actors will make use of participants who have been paid in a way to ensure that, or to make it look like the government of the day is having a public support. This theory suggests that certain gatherings or demonstrations may not be organic expressions of public sentiment, but rather staged performances funded by vested interests to create a specific public narrative. So who are the persons being used for this purpose? They are regular persons like you and I, but not exactly. Rather, the 5 categories of people who are being used, let us see them. The category 1 set of people, they are the uneducated, the unintelligent, and unreasonable ones amongst us. Nobody can pay you to state things that are clearly against the principles and values that you should stand for. The uneducated, the unintelligent, and the unreasonable ones amongst us are the first category set of people that can easily fit into what we call rented crowdism. Okay? The second set of people, the poor, the lazy, and the vulnerable members of the society. Okay? The third, the gullible ones, those that believe anything. The fourth, the greedy ones, they want more. Even when they can feed themselves, when they have little money, they still believe they want more. They are very greedy. And the last category set of people, they are those without a sense of dignity. They are those without a sense of future. They don't have any idea about what is so-called dignity. They don't stand for anything, so they fall for everything. These people are whom we always refer to as the NFAs. Those days we refer to certain set of people as NFAs, no future ambition. We can look into some examples of rented crowds situations we have witnessed in Nigeria. Generally speaking, in political rallies, allegations that supporters are burst in and paid to cheer for candidates. Anywhere they are having political rallies in Nigeria, I can tell you for a fact that many of the supporters, they are usually transported. This burst is the same thing as transported. They are usually transported into the arena of political rallies. The second that we have seen rented crowds is usually in protests. There are claims that demonstrators were offered money and gifts to participate in protests. The protest might not be organic. Oftentimes, political actors will pay demonstrators just to stage some protests. Reported participants who claim to have been paid 5,000 naira to disrupt protest of anti-poor governance protest or high cost of living protest in 2024. There was a protest in 2024, just last year, where a large number of people came out to ensure or to protest against high cost of living in Nigeria. But as they were staging these protests, political actors did not feel comfortable with this protest. They also hired some other participants just to disrupt the protest, and they were paid this little money of 5,000 naira just to say no to their future. Another instance here that we have is the EndSARS issue. While the EndSARS protest occurred in 2020, these protests, they were quite organic. Analysts have noted patterns in which state-linked actors mobilized individuals via paid arrangements to discredit the movement. What are the problems of rented crowdism or, participating in rented crowdism? It erodes authenticity. It breeds fake public opinion. It discredits real protests. This is very critical. It undermines democracy. It misleads media and policymakers, and it promotes manipulation. A society that is manipulative, this is what rented crowdism always breeds. Okay? It exploits the poor using economic desperation to hire protesters. It increases violence, raising risk of provoked clashes, especially in tense situations. So it also increases violence. Okay? It weakens civil society by creating distrust, internal sabotage, and confusion, and it fuels misinformation, combining media optics with digital manipulation. So, in any case, anytime you are being offered money to either stage a protest or to disrupt peaceful protests organized by genuine people, I expect you to say no. Otherwise, you are part of those that are causing confusion and manipulation in the society. This is all that I have brought for us today. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.